And the British government has published a guidance for the period of national mourning. Following the death of the Queen on Thursday, all official flags, including the Union Jack, are at half-mast and will be so until the day following the Queen's state funeral. Kemi Foladiye will monitor the impact of the news at the British High Commission office in Lagos and return with this report.
Tributes continue to pour in from all over the world for the Queen of England, who died at the age of 96 on Thursday. And as a mark of honor for the highly revered monarch, the British flag was flown at half-mast here at the British Deputy High Commission's office in Lagos, signaling the start of the official mourning period for the late Queen. TVC News also gathers that a number of senior staff traveled to London to pay their last respects. The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Catriona Lang, released a series of tweets over the Queen's death, calling it a moment of great sadness for the UK and for so many around the world. She adds that the country's offices in Nigeria will observe the official mourning period in full, and that a condolence book will be open at the High Commission office in Abuja from September the 12th to the 16th, and on the 19th of September from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. The diplomat says a condolence book in Lagos will only be available on invitation. This in addition to the online condolence book the royal household opened for the Queen. The BBC says her funeral is expected to be in the next 2 weeks. In the meantime, the Queen's successor, King Charles III, says he and his family will be comforted and sustained by the knowledge of the respect and deep affection in which the Queen was so widely held. Kemi Foladiye, TVC News, Lagos.
Now let's talk about the monarchy after the exit of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I have joined me a lecturer of political science from the University of Lagos, Dr. Kayode Swola. Dr. Swola, there seems to be mixed reactions trailing the death of the Queen. In Australia, for instance, some are considering her exit as a pivotal moment for the conversation as regards the Australian Republic. Some supporters of a change of political system believe this is the time to have that happen. There are also Republicans, even within the United Kingdom, who are looking forward to an emergence of a presidential system. What do you think is the future of the British monarchy after the Queen's exit? Dr. Swola, I was asking you earlier about what you consider to be the future of the monarchy after the Queen's exit, saying some reactions as regards country like Australia, talking about going perhaps a pivotal moment for them to go republic. There are also Republicans within the UK who are expressing similar interest.
Well, thank you very much for this interaction. Every society is a product of history. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Every society is a product of history. And it does not make any logical sense to me why any society at all, be it Britain or Australia or any other part of the world, including Africa, will completely erase a fundamental aspect of their history. Let's not forget that what appears to be the British monarchy today is also a product of historical transformation. Once it was absolute, today it is constitutional. So what is correct for any society to do is to periodically review the roles of these monarchs in the socio-political milieu and seek amendments and adjustments where necessary and if necessary. But a total removal or call for abrogation of monarchy or any system at all is anti-social, it's anti-historical, and it does not speak well to the civilization of that country.
Interesting the way you're looking at it. I'd like you to speak to some debates online as regards the rich history of colonialism and slave trade, particularly as it relates to some African British colonies that are now members of the Commonwealth. Would you say that the African continent is far gone from that history and it shouldn't matter now when we talk about the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II?
Well, we don't need to go too far. Our country, Nigeria, is a product of colonialism. And one good thing about the way we have digested our colonial, heritage is that we've been able to retain our own monarchical institutions. A very good example is that of Alaafin of Oyo and Ooni of Ife, and several of the kings and the emirs that you have in the northern parts of the country. These are institutions that serve as the closest structures to the people. They preserve culture, they preserve tradition, they preserve history. And therefore, because they preserve these three things, they preserve a vital aspect of the societal knowledge that is necessary to move the people forward. So I do not think that colonialism or colonization is an excuse to eradicate the institution of monarchy. If I heard you correctly, it was breaking. I think the system can continue to adjust and amend where and if necessary, and the two systems must continue to coexist with each other for the purpose of good governance and development.
But are you concerned that the traditional leadership within the country may not have enjoyed the kind of respect and honor that the Nigerian nation is given to, take for instance, the British monarchy?
Yes, I am concerned. But I think if there is anything we need to learn from, it is what has happened today in the history of Britain. A very common proverb says, "Aya aja momotie fulomu omoti aya kimole." Yeah, the people from whom we learn westernization, the people who interrupted our own civilization process, continue to keep their own monarchical institution. I was discussing with somebody this afternoon, and I said, the palace of the Queen of England is fenced with gold-laden metals. That is also in a country where you will have many Britons who have no job, who have no money to feed themselves and their families. But it's not enough to kill history. If that can happen in those places people wrongly called civilized, what happens to us in Nigeria? The lesson we need to learn is to preserve our political institutions. Of course, there will be excesses on the part.
I think we lost audio there. Lecturer of Political Science, University of Lagos, Dr. Kade Shola. We'll probably get back to him in a subsequent bulletin.